Welcome everybody, I'm your host, Bryan, the Hype, Ballard, and we're back hitting up the next installment of AEW Battle of the Belts, Volume 6. These are going to be the results and thoughts here on Tap Out Talk. We got some Lucha Brother Ring of Honor action in the house tonight, so without further ado, let's get in. April 7th, 2023 was the event. The location was Kingston, Rhode Island at the Ryan Center, and commentators this evening are Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. We also got our first matchup right away as Orange Cassidy is already halfway down the ramp and his music is playing by the time the event turns on. So, Orange Cassidy is defending the AEW International Championship tonight against Dre Listico. Orange Cassidy comes in with an 8-0 record. And while Dre Listico comes in with a 1-0 record in AEW. Our referee for the evening is going to be Bryce Remberg. And we're going to go starting with the action. Two trade advantages to start things out. And Cassidy hit some weak chops, which was actually kind of funny. Before Cassidy hit a real chop on him, Cassidy then walked the ropes, a la, Undertaker style, old school there. And he smiled at the crowd after putting his hands in his pockets, and Cassidy fired up and teased running the ropes, but posed instead, and a holy shit chant broke out on the outside as Rush, Preston Vance, and the Best Friends fought until they all went into the back. That left Cassidy and Dre Listico in the ring of the fight themselves. Our first battle of the belts, picture-in-picture commercial starts in, and we get a little bit of that advertisement. Want to let during that advertisement too that Dre Listico is the brother of Rush, according to the announcers. Also, back from our break now, we've got Cassidy ultimately landed a DDT for a 1 and a 2, but after that, the two went back and forth. Dre Listico kicked Cassidy in the face before landing a code breaker for a 1 and a 2. Dre Listico hit a suplex and kicked Cassidy in the face, and the two were in the middle of the rope, exchanged elbows. Cassidy fires up, but Dre Listico comes back with a Mystica until Cassidy got to the ropes for a break. Cassidy went for a beach break, but it turned into a destroyer from Dre Listico for a really good near fall. On the outside, Cassidy hit an orange punch on Jose, the assistant, and back in the ring, Cassidy hit an orange punch, boom, on Dre Listico for the win. Orange Cassidy defeated Dre Listico via pinfall at the 10-minute and 47-second mark. After the match, we get some interesting action as the lights do go out in the arena. Malachi Black appears on the screen in the House of Black, and they're joined by Buddy Matthews, who challenged Cassidy to a match for the international title. We got a video chronicling pretty much everything that happened on Dynamite from Wednesday. We get a little bit of McGuire's musings, and if you can find more fighting champion than Orange Cassidy, well, in either AEW or WWE, I'd like to hear about that one. But Cassidy has low-key become the most fighting champion in the WWE. It kind of reminds me of the United States title runs in the WWE, but Orange Cassidy is doing that to the international title in AEW and defending every day and every weekend. I feel like I see this guy on TV all the time, and I love it. So, based on that then, let's go ahead and move on to our next matchup, which is the infamous Jade Cargill defending her TBS championship against newcomer Billy Starks. So, the TBS championship is Jade's belt. Nobody else has known this championship for the women. Billy Starks comes in with an 0-1 record, making her debut in December in AEW. And announcers told us that she's back from spring break at school, and she's going to take another chance here at wrestling in AEW with her 0-1 record, going against Jade Cargill, who enters the ring at 54 wins and 0 losses. The referee for this one's going to be Aubrey Edwards, and we're going to get into the action here. Stark slapped the hell out of Cargill to start out, but Cargill came back with elbows, and Cargill landed a backbreaker and slapped Stark's butt. She basically then just spanked her like a 4-year-old kid. But basically, Starks hit the code breaker, but Cargill came right back with a throwaway slam. Cargill threw Starks to the outside. From there, we got to our picture-in-picture commercial, and then we're back from the break after that. And Starks came back in with a few kicks, and she even went to Cargill to the outside with her. And Starks rolled Cargill up for a 1 and a 2. Starks went to the top and then went for a senton, but Cargill got up on her knees, and Cargill went for the jaded, but again, Stark worked out of it and kind of countered it with a flip. And then a few seconds later, Cargill actually hit the jaded, boom, for the 1, the 2, the 3. And just like that, in a snap, Jade Cargill defeated Billie Starkz via pinfall at the 8 minutes and 34-second mark. Really quick, just want to give my shout outs. Thank you guys for everything you do for me. Like, share, and subscribing the videos and to the channel. Hanging out on Twitter with my peeps over there, right? With the fans of ProWrestling.com and all my other friends. Again, thank you guys so much. But let's get back into this quick action with Battle of the Belts. So, we get into our final match of the night, and this is going to be a tag team match. We got the champions of the Ring of Honor, the Lucha Brothers, versus QT Marshall and Powerhouse Hobbs, going for these titles. Hobbs is the current TNT champion. So, Lucha Brothers enter with a 1-0 Ring of Honor tag team record, while QT Marshall and Powerhouse Hobbs actually do not have a record because they're making their debut as a tag team. Referee for the evening is going to be Paul Turner, and we're going to start in because Alex Marvez asked what's going on with the Elite and walks into the locker room in the back. So this was prior to the entrances of this matchup, and he asked where Brandon and Michael are. Brandon Cutler says that there's only the ones left, and he's ridden of too many ambulances. They say the Blackpool Combat Club are bullies, and they have to ask, what do you do to people who stand up to bullies who aren't here anymore? You stand up tall, and you don't back down, and you be elite. B-E elite. That's that backstage segment. And at that point, Michael Nakazawa says no more. So, we're back in with Mark Henry introducing these two matchups for Lucha Brothers and Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall. He tries to interview him, but Hobbs cuts in, and he says it doesn't make any sense that they win the title. And Hobbs asked what makes him think that he can beat Hobbs. Tonight, they walk out as tag team champions. Lucha Brothers say tonight they cancel QTV because they're the best tag team in the universe. Excalibur recounts the two matches set for next week's Dynamite, plus Moxley and Claudio versus Cutler and Nakazawa, which they set up just a moment ago. And the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy battles Buddy Matthews. But regardless, we're here for Battle of the Belts. So, the Ring of Honor, again, Lucha Brothers versus QT Marshall and Powerhouse Hobbs. QT Marshall starts off with Penta in the ring. Starts off with the showboating and the usual QT bit, and then they kind of go at each other. Marshall shoves Penta and mocks him, and then all of a sudden a shot to the midsection by Penta, and they go off the ropes. QT with a QT cutter attempt, but it gets countered into it with a trip for a 1, and both men up, and Marshall offers a hand, but he's pie faces Penta, and then he gets slapped for it. Hobbs tags in, and he goes head-to-head with Penta. They trade shots, Penta into the ropes, and Hobbs charges back with a kick, and Phoenix and Penta off the ropes. Hobbs charges Penta and ducks, resulting in Marshall taking the hit. Boom! And then Phoenix dives out of the ring. Penta comes off with the ropes, and he gets caught by Hobbs in a body slam. So these guys are going on a little bit further, and there's a lot of just back and forth action in the matchup. Okay, a lot of lucha meets power style wrestling in this one. So we'll catch up with the action a little bit later here. So Hobbs tags in, and he goes to grab Penta, but Penta fights back. Penta slaps and tells Hobbs to fight back. They trade shots before Hobbs with a thumb to the eye, but Penta hangs Hobbs into the ropes. Kicks by Phoenix, who tags in. And then the champ comes up from up top. Phoenix on Penta's shoulders for a splash. And Penta with the destroyer to QT Marshall as Phoenix covers for a 1 and a 2. There's a super kick and a super kick and a double super kick by the champs. But Hobbs runs them over and tags in QT. QT grabs Phoenix and sends him into the ropes. But Phoenix spins out and a kick to the head. And Phoenix goes up. Aaron Solo distracts until Abrantes comes over and gets low blowed by Harley Cameron. A lot of interference going on here in this one. There's a roll up from QT on the feet, on the ropes. And Phoenix, but he is just too strong. He's just too tough, and he kicks out. Hobbs power bombs Penta on the outside. QT goes for the power bomb, but Phoenix hits the Rana and covers for the 1, the 2, and the 3. The Lucha Brothers win this matchup and retain their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships at 14 minutes and 41 seconds as AEW Battle of the Belts 6 goes off the TV. So what I want to do is give you guys my final thoughts on this one. So, 3 matches. That's the format for Battle of the Belts. We got 3 championship matches defended to help those pad those records and those stats of the mid-card stars of AEW. And again, you know, kind of hit and miss on these events for me. They are something I don't go out of my way to watch, but, you know, it's a fun splurge night just to kind of catch up with the undercard. And hey, it beats watching AEW Dark or Dark Elevation, right? Which is no more here soon. So, Orange Cassidy in this one defeated, remember, Dralistico with the Orange Punch. So I felt like that was a nice way to feature Orange Cassidy as a fighting champion, and he's always there for the crowd. His unique style of action is always entertaining and great to open a show with. Dralistico brought it with some good lucha-style wrestling, which I noticed, you know, they did on a bookend style from the opening match to the close match tonight with the Lucha Brothers and Dralistico. Jade Cargill continues her, you know, dominant effort in defeating Billy Starks, and with the Jaded for the pinfall. This was a typical match. Again, a squash match in a sense, but Billy Starks, they did sell her as a young, inexperienced wrestler while building up Cargill. With her now streak remaining, how will it end? Could it end over the summer maybe? Whenever it happens, it's going to be a big deal for some star. We'll have to wait and find out. Also, the Lucha Brothers defeated Hobbs and Marshall for their first time ever teaming up, and Phoenix and Marshall with the Rana for the pinfall. And again, it was just good lucha style action. If you guys ever watched Lucha Underground back in the day, I love the stuff, right? So I've always enjoyed Penta's work and Phoenix and just seeing some of these guys. So it was kind of nice to see who's who kind of get invading AEW a little with the lucha style. So I would say watch it for the lucha style, but again, you're probably not going to miss anything major storyline on this one. So it's either a watch or a pass, but if you got, you know, like a 45-minute just to kill on a Saturday night, okay, check it out, right? So that's everything I got for you, my final thoughts and results. But again, I just want to tell each and every one of you, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and it's not goodbye around here, guys. Never. It's game over.